What did you do on the weekend? Me? I watched a movie, I washed my car, and after that, I just relaxed. How about you? Can you make past sentences like that? Well, after this lesson, you'll be able to. In today's lesson, we're going to learn past tense. Let's go. Knowing the English past tense is so important if you want to speak English fluently and like a native speaker. We're always speaking in the past when we talk about stories, about things we've done or we did last week or last weekend. So, understanding the past tense is very important. That means knowing a lot of past tense verbs and those vocabulary words. In today's lesson, we are going to learn regular simple past tense and irregular simple past tense. So that means we will study regular verbs and irregular verbs. We'll also learn some pronunciation, and there will be some quizzes throughout this lesson. So make sure you watch till the very end, because at the end there will be an activity for you to do. This is a chance for you to actually speak. There will be a lot of activities in this lesson, so quizzes, vocabulary, and speaking practice. So watch until the end. All right, let's get started. First, let's look at the difference between a regular past tense verb and an irregular past tense verb. To make a regular past tense verb, all we have to do is have a verb. So this is the base verb, the regular normal verb. So verb plus ed. Okay, so verb plus ed. So at the very beginning of this lesson, I told you I watched a movie, I washed my car, and I relaxed. All right, so if we use those three verbs, the regular verb is watch, it becomes watched. The regular verb is wash, it becomes washed. And finally, the regular verb is relax, it becomes relaxed. Now, unfortunately, there's no rule to understand the difference between a regular verb and an irregular verb. You just have to remember them. But don't worry, I'm going to give you a list of the 10 most commonly used regular verbs in English. In this list, I will give you the past tense form. All right, so number 1, played. Number 2, worked. Number 3, called. Number 4, looked. Number 5, liked. Number 6, talked. Number 7, walked. Number 8, used. Number 9, helped. And number 10, washed. These are the 10 most commonly used regular past tense verbs. Now, before we continue into the irregular verbs, let's go over some pronunciation. Now, when we are using a regular past tense verb, there are 3 ways we can make that pronunciation. One way at the very ending is the pronunciation will be T, a T sound, so T. Okay, the second pronunciation will be a D sound, so D. And finally, the third pronunciation will be an ID, which is id sound. So we have a T, D, or id. Okay, T, D, or ID. Okay, so one more time, the pronunciation is T, D, or id. So, for example, If I wanted to have a sound, a t sound, which means the T, then worked, worked. This verb, worked, the pronunciation is going to have a T sound. So it is worked, worked. Now, if I wanted to have a D sound, a D sound, then I would have a verb like called, called. Here we have a D sound, called. And last, the id sound. Okay, a verb would be wanted, wanted. So this ends in the id sound. Okay, so one more time. Worked, T, called, D, wanted, id. All right, so does that make sense? Do you understand? All right, if you're not sure, just rewatch that part of the video or ask any questions you might have down below. But let's test to see if you understand. Let's begin with our first quiz of the lesson. In this quiz, I am going to give you a verb up onto the screen. I'm going to write up a verb here. And I want you to tell me, does the ending have a T sound, a D sound, or an ID sound? So, does it sound like T? Or does it sound like D? Or does it sound like id? Okay, so just to review, remember, we had worked, called, wanted. Okay, question number 1. Please look at the word and tell me what the pronunciation is. Is it T, D, or ID? Okay, so the first word is liked, liked. It's a T sound. Number 2, please look at the word. What is the pronunciation? All right, so this word is talked, talked. This is also a T sound. Number 3, please check out this word and tell me the pronunciation. All right, this word is needed, needed. So it's the ID pronunciation. Number 4, please check out the word and tell me the pronunciation. T, D, or ID. All right, this word is wanted, wanted. So it's the id sound. And the last word, please check it out and tell me, what is your answer? Okay, so we've got decided, decided. Again, ID sound. Okay, so how did you do with all of those? Did you get all of the pronunciation questions right? If not, rewatch that video and practice some more. So now, let's look at irregular past tense verbs. Irregular verbs are unique because they don't follow the ed pattern that the regular verbs follow. With an irregular past tense verb, the past tense will be a very completely unique new word. For example, if I have the verb eat, eat, that's the present tense, the past tense is ate, eat, ate. So the word is completely new. It's a new, unique word. So with irregular past tense verbs, each past tense is a new word. So you have to just remember all of them. But like I said before, what I'm going to do today is I will give you the top 10 most commonly used irregular past tense verbs in English. Number 1, go, went. Number 2, Be, was, were. Number 3, have, had. Number 4, do, did. Number 5, say, said. Number 6, make, made. Number 7, come, came. Number 8, see, saw. Number 9, get, got. And number 10, give, gave. Those are the top 10 most commonly used irregular past tense verbs. Of course, there are many more, so you just have to try to remember them. So that brings me to quiz number 2. In this quiz, I'm going to give you the present tense. You tell me the past tense. We will be using irregular past tense verbs in this quiz. Number 1, make, made. Number 2, run, ran. Number 3, sing, sang. Number 4, teach, taught. And number 5, buy, bought. Okay, so how did you do with that test? Were you able to get all of those irregular past tense verbs? If you couldn't, don't worry. Just rewatch that and practice again. There are a lot of irregular past tense verbs, so you just have to try to remember them. And the best way to remember them is to actually use them in your speaking. And that's what we can do now, because that brings us to the speaking part of this lesson. In this part, this is your chance to speak English. You are going to make sentences using regular past tense verbs and irregular past tense verbs. I'm going to show you an image or a word on the screen. Using that word, I want you to make a past tense sentence. All right, number 1, please look up here and look at the picture. And I want you to use this information and make a past tense sentence. For this sentence, your subject, your sentence should begin with I. I. All right, please make a past sentence. All right, so I see a picture of a beach. A beach. So my sentence would be, I went to the beach. I went to the beach. Here I'm using the verb went. It is an irregular past tense verb. So go, went. I went to the beach. Number 2, please look at the picture. This picture is connected to the first picture. Look at the picture. Please make a past tense sentence. All right, so I see a picture of a sandcastle. A sandcastle. So my sentence would be, I built a sandcastle. I built a sandcastle. So this is also an irregular past tense verb. It's build, built. So I built a sandcastle. Number 3, please look at the picture. And this time, make a sentence beginning with she. So the subject of this sentence will be she. Please look at that picture. make a sentence with she. Okay, so I see a bicycle. So my sentence would be, she rode a bicycle. She rode a bicycle. So here, rode is a irregular past tense verb. It's ride, rode. She rode a bicycle. Number 4. Please look at the word up here and let's make a sentence beginning with he. He. All right, so we have dinner, dinner. The subject is he, so my sentence is he cooked dinner. He cooked dinner. So this is a regular past tense verb, cook, cooked. He cooked dinner. If you have a different answer than mine for this situation or for any of the other situation, that's completely fine. There is more than one answer. So if you do have another answer, please leave it down in the comment section. And situation number 5, please look up at the screen, use this information and make a sentence. Please begin this sentence with he, he. Okay, my sentence here is he broke his arm. He broke his arm. So here, broke is an irregular past tense verb. It's break, broke. He broke his arm. Okay, so how did you do? Did you get all 5 of those right? Were you able to make past tense sentences using irregular or regular tense verbs? I hope you did, but if you didn't, don't worry. You can just rewatch the video and try again. And if you have other answers, that's also okay. Just leave them down below and I'll check all of your answers. Also, if you think this lesson was helpful for your English, please do me a favor and subscribe to the channel. Give me a thumbs up and hit the notification bell. Make sure you do hit that notification bell because I'm always posting videos, so you'll know when I post the next one for you to study with. All right, so until that time, see ya. Thank you very much for watching today's lesson. Today we practice the past tense. We practice regular and irregular past tense verbs. If you think this lesson was useful for your studying and for your English, please subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up, and hit the notification bell. Until the next time, see ya.